Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing a apartment build, which is not what I wanted to do, but we're here now and things have been kind of busy. So I decided an apartment build is okay, even though I know I said in my last video that I wanted to do something a little bit different. We're just gonna be doing this today. So I hope that's okay. It's not what I planned. Maybe it's not what you expected, but it's what's happening. So, this is one of the apartments in like the Spice District of San Myshuno. I feel like the Spice District is one of like everybody's like favorite places to build. I feel like when in San Myshuno specifically, I think it's just because the apartments aren't as like, the walls aren't as tall. I think some of them are medium wall height, but they're kind of more low-key, and just like the area of the Spice District is really fun, and it's where like the Spice Festival happens and like the flea market. I don't know, it just got like that low-key like family city neighborhood kind of vibe, and I feel like that's why a lot of people like building here. But anyways, I know that it's probably one of my favorite places to build in San Myshuno. I know like the financial district is probably the part that I build in the least, and I know that a lot of people probably don't like building in just because it's like the apartments are massive because it's supposed to be for like wealthy Sims. But yeah, it's just really intimidating to build in those. But maybe one day I will do an apartment build in the financial district and we can build that. It would be fun but very difficult. I know I've like attempted it before. I think for like gameplay, I think I was playing a sim and I wanted to play like in that kind of wealthy district, and I got so overwhelmed I don't even think I finished like playing with that sim. So yeah, maybe I'll challenge myself and do one of the larger apartments. But anywho, this is an apartment, 18 Culpepper house, I think. And I decided, like, the story that I had in my head when I was building this was that it was going to be like two sisters living here. I didn't go into it knowing what I wanted to do, but I ended up like thinking about it as I was building. I think when I got to like the bedroom area, I kind of had a fuller idea, because I know when I was building like the general area of like the living room, the kitchen, everything, I was thinking maybe I would make it like roommates or something. And then when I got to the bedroom, I kind of changed my mind. So yeah, the idea I had when I was like building this apartment was that it was two sisters. One is a young adult and the other is a child sim. So I'm thinking, like, in my head, even though we don't have like actual ages in the Sims, in my head I thought that the older sister was like maybe like 22, and then her younger sister was like 11. So they got like quite the age gap between the both of them, and I was like picturing them having like really like opposite sort of personalities, in the sense that the like older like 22-year-old sister, she's kind of like irresponsible and like kind of like a party animal. It's kind of what I was thinking, and I think that she's probably like doing university, but she's like not doing very well. Like maybe she's on probation because she's just kind of like, not really doing the whole like coursework and things like that, and she's kind of treating university as like a social space rather than like you go there to get your education. So I think that's kind of her vibe. She's just like really wild and free-spirited and kind of a party girl. And I think that there's something that happened like within their family, like with their parents. So now the younger sister is living with her older sister, and like they do not get along because the younger sister, I feel like, is kind of like a perfectionist and very kind of like a type A personality. She cares about her grades. She cares about, you know, being in after school activities. Like, she's probably a part of like a lot of clubs. When I get to her bedroom, I put like these pom-poms on the wall. I know she's like only 11, but I think it's like she aspires to like eventually be like a cheerleader in high school and be a part of like the spirit club and like, you know, like that kind of personality. So they obviously are like really different from each other. I think the older sister, when I was doing her bedroom, I was kind of thinking that she'd be more of like, you know, the party girl, but also she like, I think maybe wants to like mix her own music. I didn't put a music mixing station in there just because it was kind of like, it would have been a weird fit. I put a desk in there instead because I thought it'd be like more useful for like general gameplay. But yeah, so that's kind of like what I was thinking. And if you decide to play like with this kind of storyline, then you can go ahead and throw in a music mixing station, and then she can just use that. But if you don't, you can do whatever you want, like redo my apartments and like houses and stuff that I build. Like, I don't really care. Just make it like fit like whatever your gameplay is. That's totally fine. But this is just like the storyline that popped into my head when I was building. So yeah, I think that like they're obviously not living with their parents. Now the younger sister has to live with her older sister. They have kind of a rocky relationship. But I think like at the end of the day, they still have love for each other. Like, they're sisters, but they're just really like opposite in personality. So they're not like as close as maybe they could be if they're a little bit more similar. But yeah, so that was kind of like the idea that I had. I think that the older sister probably has like people over a lot, like her friends from college and like parties that she meets. So when we get to like the living area, I kind of like put, you know, like soda and like cans of stuff and that kind of things. Like, people have been there just like munching on stuff and, you know, conversing. Like, this is like an apartment where she has like, she entertains people basically a lot. And you can kind of see here in this like little sort of like hole that I have here, it's kind of like this empty space between the living room and the kitchen that I put like those moving boxes and stuff, because in my head, like, this whole development of them living with each other is like fairly recent. Yeah, I didn't like think too deep of like why that was happening. I just think it was like home difficulties or, you know, something like that where they couldn't live with their parents. I think that the older sister has probably already moved out just because she's in university, but then the younger sister was like placed with her. So yeah, that was like kind of the idea. So I think it's like fairly recent. It's a fairly recent development that they moved into this apartment. I think the sister was living in like the city on her own already, but then she got this apartment so that she could fit her sister into a room, because I think like her last apartment is probably too small for two people. So yeah, that's why there's like moving boxes and stuff there. Again, if you wanted to play that storyline, but if you don't, you can just delete them or keep them there as like part of your own storyline that your Sims just moved into this apartment. But yeah, you probably noticed too that there's not a whole lot of CC used in this build, and that was intentional because I've been building a little bit more with less CC, just because like I have been working on like 3 different saves, which is insane. It's not because I'm going to use 3 saves, it's because I'm a perfectionist and I hate things after I look at them for too long. So I keep, you know, getting these blank worlds and then building things and then hating it and then getting another blank world and then filling it and then hating it. And I don't know why I can't just like stick in one world and then just be like, you know what, this lot I don't really like it, and like bulldoze it. It's like sometimes I do that, but then other worlds I've used like the tool mod to kind of change the surrounding area so it feels a little bit more like lively. So yeah, I don't know. I have like 3 different saves right now that I'm building in for a save file. But so yeah, I don't know. But I'm trying to use like a little bit less CC for a save. So I guess because I've been on that kind of like mindset recently, I decided that I was going to do this build with a limited amount of CC. So I think the only CC I use is like obviously these couch cushions, then plants, and the blinds. So I think that's literally it. I don't think I used other CC other than the pillows, the plants, and the like, not the curtains, but the blinds that I put on the windows. So yeah. And I think like the little TV remote on there is also CC. But I really didn't use that much because I was trying to keep it, you know, just to a minimum, just so it would be easier. It also just makes it easier for the uploading process too, because I don't have to like scour for CC for like an hour and a half, and like link everything in a document. So that was nice because I didn't have to spend that much time on that. So yeah, I might do this more in the future. I know that a lot of people have like differing opinions on whether they like custom content more or if they like builds without custom content more. And it really just depends on your play style, or like if you're playing on console or PC. I know that I like having at least some kind of custom content when I build, especially if it's like my own like legacy save or something. Like I'll use like a lot of CC when I'm doing their like houses and stuff, like, you know, with my own Sims. But if I'm doing it for other people, then I think like from time to time it's nice to just, you know, do a build where it's not like a whole bunch of CC, especially because, you know, I feel like a lot of people don't really like to play with a lot of CC, just for like, you know, storage space on your computer and like ease of gameplay, which is totally understandable. I've definitely gone like a little too hard in the past with using CC in a save, and then it really like bogs it down. So I'm even mindful like in my own personal gameplay with using a lot of CC. But yeah, that is to say that there's a limited amount in this, and I think I will do some more of this kind of style in the future as well, because I think it makes it a little bit more accessible. But obviously, of course, I'm going to still do like full CC builds. I'll just like shake it up every once in a while, you know? I think it's nice to have options. So yeah, I think that's really it for this like living area. I think it's really cute. It's colorful as usual because that's just the way I build, you know? It's a lot of like colors and neutrals. When I say neutrals, I mean like earth tones. But yeah, that's the kind of vibe that I usually go for. This is just like the front entrance, like hallway area. I didn't put that much in here just because it's a hallway. Like, who cares? So it's not exciting. Yeah, I think I just put like a little rug in here, and then a coat rack, and like a shoe rack, and a mirror, and maybe like a plant or something. Yeah, I put a plant here. And that's pretty much it. I kept it really simple. It really doesn't need that much because it's just a hall. And yeah, I like this this apartment specifically. I feel like I build here a lot, and I try to do like, I think it's fun using the apartments in San Myshuno to kind of see like what kind of floor plans you can do. I know that it's like really, it's honestly kind of, it gets boring sometimes just because it's like the same layout every time, and like you can't fit a bedroom here because there's no window and that kind of thing. But it's fun to like try different layouts and floor plans for the like apartments. But sometimes I do wish, honestly, 100% of the time, let's be real, like 100% of the time I wish that we could fully customize like the floor plan of an apartment, or just like build it from scratch. I do have like little ways where like I build apartments. I either build like the entire shell from the ground up and just like use one floor and then block out the rest of the floors with like platforms, so it's like a non-usable room, which can be annoying because the camera like will kind of flip up every single time you like go near the platform, which is super frustrating. But sometimes, like depending on like where you build it, it's not too bad. So sometimes I do that. I build the whole shell, use like the platforms to kind of block out the other apartments in like or like quotations, because it's not really like usable, I guess, unless you use like the roommate system. But yeah, I'll do that, or I'll go and get like a debug like building shell from City Living, so it looks like, you know, this kind of like area of the Spice District, and then I just like build a room on top and like have it blend in with the rest of the building. So I also do that a lot, like for gameplay, just because it's not as like, you know, I don't have to build like the whole shell for it, I guess. Which I might like show in another video, like how I do that. But yeah, maybe I'll do a video like that and show how I build like different kinds of apartments for the city, or even like not in the city. Sometimes I'll just make like Newcrest, kind of like a more urban area, which is really super fun. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll do that in the future, a video like that. Anywho, we are now in the bedroom, we've been here for a little bit, of the older sister, and I kind of didn't know like what I wanted to do in this room when I got in here. I knew I wanted like posters and stuff of things that she likes, but yeah, I didn't really know like what kind of style bed to use or like what kind of style furniture, so it took me like a hot second, but I eventually like get there, like with the swatches and stuff, because I feel like I was going for like a different color scheme than the rest of the apartment, and so I ended up like changing some of the color swatches just because I feel like it wasn't as like cohesive with the rest of the apartment. But yeah, it's basically just like, you know, a closet. Actually, no, I don't think there is a closet in here, but there's like the her dresser, the bed, and then I just put a guitar and then like her desk here. So it's pretty like, you know, basic. It's not really like super duper decorated, but in my brain, like they just moved in like not too long ago anyways, so I think they've maybe been here for like a month, and they just haven't like unpacked the rest of the stuff, because I don't know about you, but like if I move, there's gonna be boxes for at least like 3 years to 4 years after that I just like haven't dug into, and it was just kind of like shoved aside in like a basement or a garage or something. Like I just kind of, you know, don't fully unpack sometimes, which is bad. I feel like I do that when I'm going away somewhere too, and like I have, you know, my suitcase to unpack, and then that thing's not getting unpacked right away. Like it takes me forever. But yeah, I feel like that they've been here for like a month or so, but they just haven't like fully unpacked everything. But yeah, so that's why I guess this room isn't like as like super cluttered, but I also think for gameplay it makes sense that it's not super duper cluttered, so that the Sims can like move around in the space a little bit better. But yeah, anyways, I think this is mostly her room, and then I think we moved to the younger sister's room, and this room is like, it's also very small because like it's an apartment, and you can see that I put like the sort of like brick like corner pillar almost kind of thing happening next to the window, and that is where, because this like apartment, one of the quirks or whatever of it is that it's like a historical apartment, so there's like that like plaque on the wall, and anytime I have like Sims move into like an apartment that has those plaques, because there's like another, I think there's like 2 others that also have the plaques on the wall that you can't like delete or move or anything. I just put pillars there. I just simply cover it up, and it's like doesn't exist. So yeah, that's what I usually do, is just put like a column there and then like make rooms around it. And I think it just adds like a little spice, a little architectural difference in the space. At least that's what I tell myself, because it's not removable. I guess you could technically remove it with the tool mod, but I don't know. I just like making the columns there and just having like a different shape in the room. But yeah, anyways, this is her room. It's a little kid's room, so she's got like some, you know, stuff laying around. I know I said she's like type A, but I also feel like because of like the circumstances of her like moving here, I feel like she's a little bit thrown off, so things are a little bit more disheveled than maybe she would usually keep it, and she's not like fully made it her space, so she's got like some stuff laying around. She's still kind of figuring it out. Sorry, my voice just like cracked right there. Insomnia is great because it just ruins your voice, but anyways, yeah, that's why there's like stuff laying around. And there's like the little pom-poms I was talking about for her future dreams of being a cheerleader. So yeah, that's how this room is. I think it's cute. It looks like a kid's space. And I like those little like curtain, they look like they're beaded curtains on the window. I think they're cute. I know I used to like use them back like literally years ago when I was playing this game and decorating in it, but I haven't used them recently, so it's nice pulling it out again and using it. So yeah, anyways, we're getting close to the end of the video, so I hope you guys like this apartment and are okay with the fact that I didn't build something different that wasn't an apartment, but I'm kind of on an apartment kick right now, so you might see more in the future or something different next time. But yeah, we're gonna have to see, because sometimes if I get, you know, in a certain phase, I'm kind of like one track minded, so we'll see what the next build is. It'll be a surprise, you know, it's more fun this way. Anywho, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The download link will be in the description, and I will see you guys next time I upload.